The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. They go play action now. Here's Strebler. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now Strebler. Escaping the pressure right. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Opening drive fumble, and the 4 miscues that they had last week. 4 turnovers, Charles. So this is a bad trend.
And, Brandon, you and I both know that they didn't just ignore what happened last week. They focused on it, tried to get better. And when it happens here again in this game, the head coach is going to see that as a direct reflection on his message to the team. And
that's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not the cleanest of starts to this football game. Back-to-back plays yield turnovers in this first quarter.
So there's not much flow right now. A very choppy game. And I know this. It's a copycat league. We say it all the time about the NFL. But I'm not quite sure this is what they had in mind about something they wanted to emulate.
No, you don't want to emulate a turnover. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. This defense for the Vikings, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
Second down, they'll go with Akers again. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. This defense for the Vikings, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. To throw is Strebler. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
This offense is starting to get into rhythm. A nice quick throw there on target, able to pick up another first down.
Strebler sets to throw on 1st and 10. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Room here to run. 76 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Akers. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Cam Akers, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first quarter lead. extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now a give to Breida. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. On 3rd down, a run from Breida. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. And here's Hunter Nicewander now. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll run with Davis. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On play action, it's Kaepernick. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Anthony Barr able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
Strebler to throw it.
Under pressure, they got him again. It was Melvin Ingram that time who shot in to bring him down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Here's Aaron Sipas now.
Desmond King back deep. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen. Eight yards to go on 2nd down. Now a give running left is Breida. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the 1st down. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Hunter, nice swander on a punt as he sends this one away.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Off the option, here's Akers.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Here's Strebler.
Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Boy, the run on 1st down, a disaster as he's tackled well behind the line of scrimmage. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's Kaepernick to throw. That'll be caught. It's Steven Sims. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Kaepernick going to throw. And he's going to go down. It's a sack on Kaepernick. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now he dumps this off over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. On 1st down, here's Breida. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Matt Breida, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are on the board here in the final minute of the 1st half. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Anthony Barr able to record his 5th sack of the season. Sacks a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. To throw is Strebler. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it a little bit right before the half, hoping to get one more score.
Now, easy to second-guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah, I think at the half, the head coach just says, look, that's on me. I wanted to press it, but it's because I believe in you guys. And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Now Kaepernick. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Steven Sims Jr. in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Vikings have taken the lead. The point after is good. And that makes the score 14-7. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this 1st half. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. Kaepernick now on first down. And he'll go underneath here to Breida. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On second down, a run with Breida. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
But it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
On third and long, it's Kaepernick. That is caught by Smith-Schuster. And he will have the Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Christian Fulton. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities. And this is a good one right in front of them.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
They'll fake the give. Now Goff. He completes it to Boyd. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
On 1st and 10, Goff. Eluding the pressure right. Airing one out for Boyd. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Back to the air, it's Strebler.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Anthony Barr in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Here's Strebler to throw.
He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. On the return, it's King. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On the handoff, this is Breida. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41.
44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Working with a 2nd and 4.
Now they'll throw with Kaepernick. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Christian Fulton.
And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Now Strebler.
Ebron caught left side. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Melvin Ingram picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Throwing on 2nd down, Strebler.
That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Here's Goff. And he's got his big tight end here. And they'll get him down at about the 36. 7, well short of the first. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. And this one is right down Broadway. That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They run again with Breida. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Now Kaepernick. Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
This is Breida on the draw, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Out of the shotgun, Breida stays on his feet. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
61 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Matt Breida, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 21-10 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And they will be backed up deep. Trouble here as they're going to start this drive at the 6.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Gone. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Nasir Adderley, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
So many times we end the game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Now a give coming right is Breida. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. They'll try to run with Breida. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. From the 4 now, 3rd and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. They run for it with Breida, and he'll be caught behind the line of scrimmage at the 3. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied, and the Lion defense able to come up there with a goal line stand. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Pushing his way through. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Pass complete to Ebron. Powers through him. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Without question, when you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. He talked about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Vikings, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Detroit,